I found it on Rhema Radio.
Hello everyone. Do you have a heart to reach the Orang Asli of Malaysia? Maybe you'd like to minister to them and be a blessing to their lives. Well, if you'd like to, visit us at www.1vm.net. That's One Voice Ministries.
Hi, did God do something great in your life today?
Or do you have a God story you want to tell someone?
Send us your story at Christianity Malaysia.
That's right. The story you share might just be the word that someone out there needs to hear.
Email to editor@christianitymalaysia.com.
Hi friends, weekly 20-minute sermons is now released every Wednesday and it's called the Midweek Service. This week's sermon is from Pastor Kevin Ho of Collective, entitled Space. Look out for that. And now for this week's interview.
Hi everyone, this is Adeline, the host of Rhema Radio, the weekly online podcast on faith, culture, music, and more. And today we have Winnie Ho. So just to give you a background of Winnie Ho, which I believe some of you have actually heard of her in jazz concerts and music gigs, and even like in church and ministries. Winnie is the champion of Astro Talent Quest in year 2000. She proceeded to win third runner-up in the World Chinese Singing Contest that same year. In year 2006, she was the vocal coach for the top finalists for Astro Star Quest. A noteworthy thing to also say is that she is the first Chinese singer representing Malaysia to perform in many jazz festivals around the world. For example, Taiwan, China, Macau, and also Singapore. So thank you, Winnie, for being with us today. And
it's my pleasure, Evelyn.
Yes, and we'll talk about your album that was just launched November last year.
Last year, yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about this album?
Oh, yeah, of course. This is my very first original album, solo albums, okay. The title of the album is called Finally Chapter 1. So let's share about how, where does this concept come from?
Yeah, finally what?
Finally Winnie have launched her own originals album, because back then, I did a lot of covers, like Teresa Tings and stuff. It was all cover songs, okay. And that was back in 2015, yes. Mm-hmm. And I have this urge that I should probably do some original stuff. So, but I was thinking, what kind of concept should I hate to words? Mm-hmm. So, and there's one fine day when I was praying and God really gave me an impression and told me, hey, write something about your singlehood.
So specific, right?
It's very specific. Singlehood? Okay. Because I remain as a single for 7 years. I mean, since the very first day I came to know the Lord.
He's a jealous God. He's like, oh, Winnie, I just want you for myself.
Because, along this journey, 7 years, it's not too short nor too long,
right.
Okay? And people do ask me, hey, don't you have any struggles in between? Do you feel lonely? Of course! Mm-hmm. But actually, in the very beginning of this first 7 years, maybe the second or the third year when I was still a baby Christian, it came to a point that I felt, okay, Winnie, you shouldn't feel lonely. You shouldn't feel lonely because you are a Christian. So I try to suppress my emotions. I don't dare to tell people my struggles, and I just look good on the outside. But sometimes when I saw people, maybe a family have a reunion dinner at some festival. When I went back home, I would cry at home. And I felt when I cried, I don't feel comfortable. I was like, what happened to you? And I started to condemn myself, started to scold myself. It's very weird. So
there's a lot of self-conflict there.
Yeah. Inside me, I was fighting.
Right. Your heart and your brain.
Yeah. And I don't feel comfortable at all. And until one fine day, when I was reading through an article, and God really told me that, hey, by sharing your vulnerability, it's not telling people that you are weak. But on the other hand, you are telling these people that, hey, this particular part in my life needs more understanding and caring. Just that. It doesn't mean that you are weak. So it's okay to find somebody, to share and to pray together. So I started to let loose a bit, and I started to tell my pastor regarding my struggle, and I said, Pastor, sometimes I felt lonely. Even though I know that I should feel contented, but somehow I felt lonely. Am I weird? So Pastor started to minister me, and we went through healing sessions and stuff. So, and finally I realized that write something about this thing, because a lot of single ladies outside, especially those non-believers, and when they are so focused on their career, maybe that's not the thing that they are really pursuing.
Right.
It's just that they want to reduce the loneliness.
Right.
So they hang on to some other things. So write something to encourage them, to tell them it's okay if sometimes you still feel lonely, even though you have everything you wanted. All right, because the emptiness in our heart can't be filled with all those things that we are seeing, okay, or holding. The contentment actually come from the Lord's left.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So write something about this. So it took me about a year to pen the lyrics for my the very first song in my album, Me and Myself.
And I must think, oh yes, I actually watched that video. It's really good. It talks about loving yourself.
Yes.
Yes. I'm just thinking how it must be quite scary to reveal that part of you, because you mentioned about how, you would go home and cry and having all these conflicts of trying to hide that self. And now it's like it's just out in the open, all in the songs. So, wow, God has brought you through quite a bit.
And there was an affirmation from God as well. Because there was one time, a girlfriend of mine was sending me to the airport, and we have some time to have a cup of coffee. So she's a single as well. She's a single lady as well. So I started to share with her about this struggle in my life, what I used to have. Okay, and I told her, I said, now after I able to share my struggle, I'm relieved. And I even felt God's love even more than before. And suddenly she cried. And she told me that, she said, do you know that actually I was in the same situation? I always thought that I am a Christian. I shouldn't tell people my struggles. I shouldn't felt lonely because I'm a Christian. Yeah. And she told me, she said, thank you so much for sharing your stories with me, and it really encourages. It really encouraged me, and I know that that's an affirmation from God, and said, "Hey, do that." Wow. This story is going to bless many, many more people.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. Thank you, Winnie, for sharing about her heart on her personal journey and how she actually wrote songs that comes from her life experience of singlehood. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Rhema Radio.
Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Stephen. I'm from the Lighthouse Children's Welfare Home, and my Bible verse is from Hebrews 13:5, which says, I will not in any way fail you, nor give you up, nor leave you without support. I will not in any degree leave you helpless, nor forsake you.
Rhema Radio.
Hi everyone, this is Adeline, and we are back now with Winnie Ho, and we'll talk more about maybe some of the songs that God inspired her or has journeyed through her to write these songs. So is there any song in particular? Like just now you mentioned Me, Myself.
Me and Myself,
yeah.
Yes. That was one of the, it talks about my singlehood. Like, embrace yourself, Well, of course, it's in Mandarin, so whoever that can read Chinese, please feel free to check out the lyrics.
Right.
Well, Me and Myself it's in Chinese, we translate it as 一个人的自己 means me and myself. I'm alone. I'm alone. I'm alone. But it doesn't mean that I'm lonely. Yeah. So, me and myself, even though I'm alone, sometimes, yes, I still cry whenever, I still struggle. I feel lonely sometimes. But then it doesn't mean that I should just simply go and seek love from another person and, just to jump into another relationship. Because in God's eyes and perception, love is not about, tie up yourself with another person, jump into a relationship. That's not the love that he understands. His love is bigger, has a bigger picture. So even though I'm alone, I still can love people and being loved by many others. Yeah.
Amen. So do you think that there is, just looking at your journey back for 7 years as a single woman, do you think there's a purpose for this experience?
Yes. To be still.
To be still.
To be still in front of God. Because before I came to know the Lord, I jump in and out from one relationship to another. Because I'm seeking for this affirmation from my partners. Yeah.
And you realize that only God can give you that kind of affirmation?
Yes. Yeah. Because since young, my earthly father, my dad, and he didn't really give me a lot of affirmation. That's the love that I hunger for. So when I grew up, I started to seek this kind of affirmations from my boyfriends. Yeah, so it's a norm that for me to jump in and out in a relationship before I came to know the Lord. So after I came to know the Lord, right? After I came to know the Lord, in fact, there's a couple guys appeared in my life. Really?
Okay.
But somehow it just doesn't happen. And I don't know. I just felt that it doesn't happen. And it's like God is blocking something. Sometimes I cry, I struggle, I even have a fight with God. I was like, hey, what are you doing?
Why are you blocking me?
But, God is good. He is so faithful. And what He wanted to do is, it's for me to be still right in front of Him. And because that's the way He's going to mold me. Because if He gave me a partner, by then, I think, I was started to idolize my partner instead of God.
Right.
Yeah. So
the Lord wants you to build a relationship with Him.
Yeah.
And to get to know Him.
Be strong in Him first before I establish another relationship. Yeah. Amazing thing.
Very good. I actually see you now as a full and complete person in Christ.
Thank you.
that needs probably no other person to come and complete you because you have God. And that's a really beautiful picture when you have two complete person in Christ coming together.
Yeah.
Then two maybe incomplete person, because you will exhaust each other eventually.
Yeah.
If you don't depend on God as the source of love, acceptance, and affirmation. Wow, what a journey.
And I'm telling myself that, hey, love yourself. It's like, Winnie, whatever you have been through, it's part of your life. It's part of you. Don't hesitate them. Don't hate them. Embrace them. Because whatever you have been through, God, whatever mistake that you have done in your life, God already forgiven you. And, this is part of you. And God used your stories and to build you to be a better person. Yeah. So whichever stages you are in.
So it seems that a lot of single ladies have this trouble maybe problem of seeing themselves in the eyes of God and loving themselves. Will you say so?
Yes. Sometimes it's, I guess it's an insecurity in our heart. Do you agree that?
Yeah.
So if you don't feel secured, I think, you're always like, why am I still single? Am I not good enough? We'll start to ask this kind of questions, like self-doubt.
Yeah. We'll doubt. We will like, basically we will value ourselves on our status, right?
And of course, the community, pressure as well. Like, a lot of friends.
Chinese New Year, right?
Yeah, Chinese New Year.
Weddings.
Weddings. And they will start to... And whenever you tell them you are still single, then friends around will say, hey, what they are talking is maybe, open up yourself and go out and know more friends. That's the thing that they want to convey. That's the message.
Right.
Yeah, in fact. I always see that in that way. In that way.
Yeah.
So, well, I think as a single lady, don't close the door. And
Right.
if you are those kind of person that who always, put a lot of effort on your career, maybe you should know how to live a life. There's in the Bible we all said that there's a time for everything. So we should really plan our life. Like there's a time to work really hard. There's a time that we should enjoy life and read a good book, and travel and cook something good for yourself and go and learn something.
Right.
Yeah, there's a time to do every single thing. So be nice to ourselves, and then you realize that you will realize that your security and your value doesn't come from a relationship between you and another guy, but it comes from God. When you have a good relationship with God, you will realize that your relationship with people will start to get better.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's the source of everything.
That's the source of everything. Yeah. And how do you give before you have enough to give? Right? So, women especially, sometimes when we are in a relationship, most of the time we are the one that who actually keep on giving. Sometimes we just overdoing things.
we don't have boundary, right? We just totally keep on giving.
Sometimes
wow.
we're just over-functioning. So.
It's so good to talk to you and just, like you sharing about your struggles. And I think a lot of women out there, if we are honest and, open and, vulnerable like you, I think a lot of people could relate to your experience. So stay with us. We'll be right back and we'll talk more with Winnie about her album on singleness.
Rhema Radio.
My name is Philip So. I would like to say a prayer for mankind. Our Father who art in heaven, we your children who are on earth, we lift up our soul to you. We lift up our spirits to you. We lift up our bodies to you. We ask of you, who made the heavens, the earth, and the waters, come and fill us with your spirit. Come and fill us with your truth. Come and fill us with your life. Come and fill us with your peace and your joy and your love. Fill us with your knowledge so that we are wise, we are understanding, and we are discerning, and we have knowledge, and that we will reverence you. We will fear you, we will honor you. For you are the King of kings and you're the Lord of lords. You're the creator of all things, and we need you more than ever before. Hear our prayers as we reach out to you in Jesus' wonderful name. Amen.
Rhema Radio.
Hi everyone, this is Adeline and we are now here with Winnie and we are talking about her newest album, finally!
Yay!
Finally on singleness, basically, which I think a lot of ladies, cherished beloved women of God are experiencing right now. I think it's really amazing to be single and not bitter at the same time. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
And to be open for that relationship, because sometimes as humans, you know, it's just easier to just close doors. You know, just close it, don't think about it, and just focus on career and just completely let go of that area. You know, it's so easy to do that. So to remain open and soft and patient and still, I think that's really the Spirit of God.
Yes. And there's another struggle with my life. There's a point. I was so scared that I would be called to stay single for the rest of my life.
You actually ask God. Sometimes it's a question that you don't want to ask because, oh my gosh, what if God said yes?
Yeah. You know, what? I was like, what if God say yes, huh? Will I accept that? No, I don't want that. Okay. Well, in fact, I really have this issues back in 2 years ago. So I started to pray to God and I said, God, is that what you want me to do in my life? But God, at this particular moment, I don't feel that I want that thing. And you know my desire, the desire of my heart, right? So, and I pray to God, I said, God, I know that if you want me to stay single for the rest of my life, you will prepare me. This thing wouldn't just suddenly come, bang! It's like, take it. I don't think our God is that kind of God because He's always loving, kind, full of mercy, right? So, yeah, that's what I told God. I said, God, prepare me if you want me to stay single for the rest of my life. If this is your plan, and I will surrender it. But so far, no, I didn't have this message. It's sometimes, sometimes the fear is a thing that the evil one trying to play around with our mindset, so that whenever when you are fear, then that's a place that I could continue to poke you. And then when you are fear, you wanted to do things we will want to do things in our own way because of the fear. Because I don't want to let this thing happen. So I want to do things in my way and I want to control everything. So I just pray to God and I say, God, if it's your plan, so you will prepare me, right? Okay. But so far, thank God, I didn't receive any kind of these messages. And somehow I'm still looking forward. I mean, I know that I'm not young anymore, but I
Still young though. Age is relative.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. But I believe that God is preparing me and preparing the other half. We are on the way to meet each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a beautiful picture. The way that I see it is like you as a girl. You know, like when a girl and guy dance, it's the guy that leads. And the guy here that I see is almost like God is the one who's holding your hand and leading you and twirling you and, just bringing you on this beautiful dance. Dance through singlehood.
Wow. Wow, that's a beautiful picture.
Yeah. So it's something that it's almost like He is showing you off, like, this is my daughter, and we are also called as the bride of Christ.
Yeah.
So we are called to, someone that is, beautiful in the eyes of God. Yeah. Wow, what a journey! And you have about 6 songs. Was it in your album?
Yeah. 6 songs in my album. It was all inspired by real life story.
Wow.
Okay, one of the song is actually taken from the Bible. It's Psalm 23. One of my favorite verses, my all-time favorite, because this verse is actually command me to. This verse actually encouraged me to walk through the very what do you call that? When I was deep down in the pit, basically these verses encouraged me a lot. Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. Yes.
Oh, wow. I believe that when people listen to every song that you wrote, they can really also feel the journey, because it's all about your emotions, your thoughts, So, thank you, Winnie, for being with us. Thank you for sharing your heart and how, you wrote this song in this album that was launched last year, finally. If anyone wants to get this album, how do they get it?
You could just go to Spotify or KKBox or iTunes. You just type in Winnie Ho Finally and you'll find. It's a pink color album.
Oh, pink.
Yeah, it's a pink color album, so it's very noticeable. And of course, you still can get it, if not mistaken, from CD Rama. Yep. Or you could just go to my any of my social media and drop me a text and tell me that you want to get a copy, and then there will be a way that I'll contact with you.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Winnie, for being with us.
Thank you so much, Adeline, and thank you so much, Rhema Radio.
现在的状态，我说不上来，忐忑的眼神，轻易的把你出卖，没什么无奈 ，We are just alright。有时候沉默就是最好的交代，不用说太白，就一句电话联络，电话联络，没有什么不妥，我一句电话联络。你想清楚再说，我们就后会有期，后会有期，一切不用太急，享受距离给我们的好意。我必须坦白，你真的可爱。爱其实单纯，遗憾也是种释怀。我没有无奈 ，We are just alright。我总是相信，所有事都有安排，不需要明白。就一句电话联络，电话联络，没有什么不妥。我一句电话联络，电话联络，你想清楚再说，我们就后会有期。一切不用太急，享受距离给我们的好意。你想清楚再说，我们就后会有期，后会有期，一切不用太急，享受距离给我们的好意。你想清楚了再说，不用太急，不用太急。
This segment features music by Winnie Ho. Today's episode is recorded, edited and mixed by Moses Chan at Pro Studio. If you have not heard this week's word, catch Pastor Kevin Ho in our midweek service with the sermon entitled Space. Have a fruitful week ahead. God bless.
Rhema Radio is a non-profit initiative by the Love Malaysia Media Project. Time, talent and treasure is put into creating the content you listen to. Your support enables us to keep this going and expand further. Log on to www.rhemarad.io/support to find out how you can partner with us in creating value-adding content that ministers to the masses. Once again, that's www.rhemarad.io/support. Let's get the word out there.
I found it on Rhema Radio.